we had released death penalty statistics for the year 2010 about 2 weeks ago, and what we found out that in 2010, confirmed, there's about 114 death sentences was handed down in Malaysia, and there was 8 death sentences handed down in Singapore last year. But what's surprisingly that you may want to know is that there was only confirmed by the Dato' Hishamuddin, the Home Minister, that last year, until September, there was only 1 execution in Malaysia. So what does it take? We keep on continuing to hear that death penalty is a deterrent sentence, that death penalty works, that our rakyat and Malaysians are still calling for the death penalty. But if you look at the number of executions, surely it reflects something else. So we are saying that we should stop, as a developed nation, that we should stop having death penalty in any part of our legal system, that it has no place in our society, that we are a developed nation, that we are a civilized community. We have to stop death penalty. Chun Yin is a Malaysian citizen sentenced to death in Singapore for a drug-related offence. He was only 25 years old. He was detained in June 2008. Chun Yin claimed that he was asked to bring gold bars into Singapore and that he genuinely believed that that was so. He had no knowledge that the supposed gold bars were in fact drugs. It never occurred to him that the gold bars had turned into drugs, as he had been told over and over again that it was to bring in gold bars. Nothing happened along the way to suggest otherwise. In his statement to the police investigating officer, as well as his testimony in court, Chun Yin maintained his version of the story and he even provided all the information pertaining to the person who had convinced him and arranged for everything. His name was Lau Di. Chun Yin gave the mobile number which Chun Yin used to call to the police, as well as his description and the chronology of all that happened. However, the police did not make any adequate effort to trace Lau Di or check on his cell phone, as admitted to the learned trial judge in his judgment. Instead, the learned judge convicted and sentenced him to death on the ground that I did not find his testimony convincing, and I was of the view that his evidence did not create any reasonable doubt that he might not have known that he was carrying heroin. It was immaterial that the CNP did not make adequate efforts to trace Lau Di or check on his cell phone. The absence of any trace of Lau Di or Teng Mo was not taken as evidence in favor of or against either accused. We find the lack of effort by the relevant authority in tracing and tracking down Lau Di very disturbing. We are even more disturbed by the fact that the learned trial judge had acknowledged this lack of effort and think it immaterial. Should the relevant authority have made such effort, they would probably have faced the drug barons. Should the relevant authority have made such effort, they would have known that what Chun Yin testified in court was the truth. The Court of Appeal, who dismissed Chun Yin's appeal on 2010, did not even till today produce its ground of judgment. Chun Yin will die without knowing the reason why.
做很听话，很相信人，很帮人。就是这样变成这样子，我也不会这样子，这样。他太相信人，太帮人了。希望总统会给个机会他。
我是村民嘛，自小都是我照顾他。
我跟他讲过，你这个可以放弃，只要还一点的希望，他都不会放弃。他讲还要出来看我们。他知道，他以前很单纯，管是什么事情啊，都是认为朋友是对的。他不去考虑，有去害怕，他就只是叫我去外面交朋友要小心啊。知道什么事啊？反回来讲，他会，告诉我那种门的选择。
The Court of Appeal has dismissed Chun Yin's appeal, but the ground of judgment was never given. So the next course of action is to file in the clemency petition, which through his lawyer has done so on the 31st of January this year. And a copy of the clemency petition was handed to the member of the press. So in normal circumstances, as far as I know, the president vis-a-vis the cabinet will take about 3 months to consider. Once they have decided, they will send a letter to the family, and execution will be carried out maybe within 2 weeks. It is always on the Friday at 6 o'clock when everybody is so sweet sleeping. So we have not received the letter yet. We don't know when we will receive it. But I think Chun Yin matter is kind of urgent in that sense.